Hi there, welcome to this lecture series on matrix algebra. This is lecture 25, part 1, and the topic is applications, especially using the properties of the powers of matrices. So we will cover some special commuting matrices and cover two different applications. One is the predator-prey model, and the other is the Fibonacci numbers. Let's get started. We begin with a discussion on commuting matrices. We're interested in the question, when do two matrices commute? We know that in general, if you have two matrices, even if they are the same size, square matrices n by n, they do not commute. So this means A times B in general does not equal to B times A. So we want to show that there is a special case, that is, if A and B, they have the same eigenvectors, then they commute. So here is the precise statement of this theorem. Let now V1, V2, and Vn be a basis of eigenvectors of A. Assuming that the same vectors are also eigenvectors of B, so possibly related to different eigenvalues, then A times B equal B times A. Let's take a look at the proof. So first we observe that in a very special case where the two matrices are diagonal, let's call it D and D tilde, then they always commute. So D, let's say, has diagonal element lambda 1, lambda 2 to lambda n, and D tilde has diagonal element mu1, mu2, and mu(n). Then we can carry out the product D times D tilde and the product D tilde times D, and you can easily verify that they equal, and if they exactly equal to a matrix that has the diagonal elements, which is the product of the corresponding entries in the D and D tilde. So lambda 1 times mu1 will be the first element, lambda 2 times mu2 will be the second diagonal element, and so on and so forth. Now let's consider the general situation in the setting of the theorem. So let's form this matrix P by taking the set of eigenvectors v1, v2 to vn. So P is a square matrix and it's invertible. And then let's write the matrix D, which is starting from A matrix. We carry out this diagonalization procedure using the P's. So P inverse times A times P will be a diagonal matrix. Let's call it D. And then we can also carry out a same procedure for B, because B has the same eigenvectors, and multiply P inverse times B times P will also result in a diagonal matrix, which might be different because the eigenvalues might not be the same. So we call this D tilde. And they are both diagonal. Then by the argument on the previous slides, we now see that they commute. So D times D tilde equal D tilde times D. So now let's carry out this calculation. D times D tilde, and we're going to plug in the D and D tilde with these two expressions that we have derived earlier. So this will be the D, this will be the D tilde. So we can remove the brackets and we can compute this first, P and P inverse, which gives me an identity. So I can drop it because it doesn't change anything. So I'll have P inverse times A times B times P. And then we can carry out the computation D tilde times D And we'll put in the d tilde here, and we'll put the d here. Sorry, I missed the bracket. And then P times P inverse again is the identity, so we can just remove it, and we get P inverse times B times A times P. So we have this equal this expression, and this equal to this expression. And then we also know that this equals that. And therefore we conclude the right-hand sides here and here must equal to each other. So we have this identity. Now we can multiply both sides of the equation on the left with a P and on the right with P inverse. So on the left, if you multiply by P, and then P inverse gives you identity, P inverse gives you identity, which we can drop. And then the multiplication of P inverse on the right will give you P times P inverse, also here P times P inverse, which is an identity. Okay, so we have this equal to that, and that's an identity, 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 identity. And the only thing remains on the left is A times B, and on the right is B times A. And therefore we conclude A times B is B times A, and therefore they commute, and we prove the theorem. Let's do a brief review on computing the powers of a matrix. So assuming that a matrix A can be diagonalized, this in particular means that there is an invertible matrix P, that P inverse times A times P will be a diagonal matrix. And if that holds, and then we can write A in terms of P and D, so it will be P times D times P inverse. And then computing the power A to the power K, we can put this one in for A, so it will be K power of that, and then you just have K product of this, and then you notice there are two nearby matrices, which is P inverse times P, give you identity. Here you get an identity, so you get many identities. All that remains is P D to the power K P inverse. So that's a formula to compute A to the power of K. Now let's look at our first application, population growth. Model 1 will be there is a single population. So we go through that because it gives us ideas of how to handle a multiple population. Okay, so xk now will be the size of the population in year k, and k will be from 0, 1, 2, and so on into the future. We assume now that the growth occur according to the following equation, that is xk plus 1 is A times xk, which means the change in the population from year k to the next year k plus 1 depend on the population in the year k and a constant A, kind of the rate, how much it changes, multiplied to the population at year k, and that will be the population at year k plus 1. And then, of course, for this problem, you will be given an initial population. Let's call it x0. That's like initial condition. And then this would imply that x1, if you put k to be 0 here, it says x1 is A times x0. And then x2 will be A times x1. And then if you plug in x1, you'll get A squared x0. And you continue that, and you can easily show by induction that so we'll have xk will equal to A times xk minus 1, and then you keep substituting the xk minus 1 to a xk with even an index smaller, and the simple induction argument will give you this solution. Xk will be A to the power k times x0. So take a look at that and remember it in your brain, and we'll move on. Now let's consider a two-population model. The two populations would represent the predators and the prey. So there is one that's for prey, one for predator. Let's take two stereotype typical types of prey and predator. Let WK be number of wolves and RK to be number of rabbits. So R for rabbit, W for wolves. And these are the K is the index for year. So K is 0, 1, 2. That's in year. And then assuming there's initial population given. So W0, R0 will be given. And we assume that the growth occurs according to the following system. So WK, the population of the wolves will depend on, for the next year, will depend on the population of the rabbits and the wolves. So it is a -2 times WK. So there is a natural decay in the population. Then there's a plus sign. This will increase the population 2 times RK. So if there are lots of rabbits, and they'll be feeding the wolf, and the wolf population can grow. And then for the rabbits, the population the next year will also depend on both the wolf and the rabbit population this year. So if there are lots of wolves, that's bad news for the rabbits because they will be eaten by the wolves, and therefore there is a negative sign that makes it decrease, and that's the factor how much it's decreasing. And then rabbits will be just like eating grass and natural resource, and naturally without the presence of the predator, it will grow with a certain ratio. So we all know rabbits grow very fast, so it's a big number here. Okay, so we can form this matrix, the coefficient matrix, and we can write this system as a system using matrix and vector. So we'll form the vector of the population. So W and R at different year K's will be the vector. So the vector at year K, the vector of population at year K plus 1. And there's the A matrix, which is just the coefficient. It collects the coefficient, -2 and 2 here, -12 and 9 here. Okay, and then this relationship can be written as A times that vector. And that holds for K from 0, 1, 2. So we want to understand how the population grows. The question will be, knowing an initial population W0, R0, can we predict the population sizes after K years? Okay, so let's take a closer look. So we know that if I set K to be 0, then W1, R1, K plus 1 is 1, will be A times the initial one, W0, R0. And what about the year number 2, W2, R2, will be A times W1, R1. And we plug in the expression for W1, R1, which is A times W0, R0. And then we see that we have an A square. So pretty similar to the discussion of a single population model, where you will just get one number here and here's one population. But here we'll have a vector for population and a matrix representing how it grows. Okay, and then for WKRK, it will relate to the initial population by multiplying A to the power of K. So to understand the population at year number K, then we know it's important to understand this power, A to the power K. How does that matrix look like? We see that we need to now compute the eigenvalues and the eigenvectors of A. So this is something we've done many times, so I will be brief. So you will form the characteristic polynomial determinant of A minus lambda I, and that is the matrix now. Work that out, and you find the roots for this polynomial, which is 1 and 6. And then you carry out the calculation of the corresponding eigenvectors v1, v2. Let's say we found all of them, and they are given here. Now we can form the matrix P by collecting the eigenvectors, and then now we have this 2 by 2 matrix. And then we also know that we need the P inverse to diagonalize the A matrix. So let's calculate the P inverse, and that will be the formula for the inverse, and work that out, and you get that. Okay, so all the steps we already know how to do, although they might take some time to work out the details. And then we see that matrix A can be diagonalized. So diagonal matrix will equal to P inverse times A times P, which will be lambda 1 and lambda 2 on the diagonal. So which will be 1 and 6 for this example. And now we can use the formula for the power of matrix. A to the power k now will equal to P times D to the power k times T and P inverse. So we can put in expression of these 3 matrices. We know all of them. That will be P, that's P inverse, and that's D to the power k, which is just taking the power on the diagonal. So we have an explicit expression, a formula for the number of wolves and rabbits in year k for any k that can be computed as following. WKRK would be A to the power k times the initial population W0 R0, and the A to the power k we just computed here, and then we can put it in and then multiply in the end by this vector W0 R0. Okay, so if you give me a number of years, let's say k10, then I just need to put 10 here, and then I can work out this expression with a given initial population. I can figure out the population at a later time. So this is the end of this example, this application, and we'll take a break. End of part 1 also. In the second part of the lecture, we will look at the Fibonacci numbers. So hope you enjoy this one. I'll see you soon.